Some K-dramas are just too stunning for one country. These series took their beauty worldwide, and today, we're counting 10. K-drama's so gorgeous, they had to film abroad. Do you think your country's on the list? 10. What comes after love?
겼다. 이 세상엔 운명이라는 게 존재한다는 것을.
If you've ever wondered what happens when a love story is painted on the canvas of Japan's most breathtaking scenery, What Comes After Love is your answer. This cross-cultural romance between Lee Se-young and Sakaguchi Kentaro uses Tokyo itself as a character. From the serene cherry blossoms of Inokashira Park, symbolizing the fleeting beauty of first love, to neon-lit streets and moody jazz bars that echo the couple's highs and lows. Even the everyday backdrops, like the cozy diner where Hong works, feel intimate and grounding, reflecting the cultural blend at the heart of the story. Rain-soaked walks under a shared umbrella, wide shots of seasonal blooms, and the contrast of Tokyo's energy with its moments of stillness create a wistful, almost haunting aesthetic. It's not just a romance, it's a visual love letter to Japan, where every scene mirrors the tenderness and heartbreak of the characters. What Comes After Love proves that sometimes the scenery tells as much of the story as the dialogue itself. 9th, Vagabond.
Don't stop that fight now.
네 팀장님, 방금 수상한 제보 전화가.
어떻게 된 거야? 내 조카가 왜 죽어야 되는 건데 왜?
With a huge budget, the series takes us all the way to Morocco, and the scenery is just breathtaking. From the bustling markets and maze-like streets of Tangier to wide shots of the Mediterranean coast, every frame looks cinematic. And then there's the desert. Endless, rugged, and sun-drenched, adding scale and grit to every action sequence. These barren backdrops almost feel like something out of a western, amplifying the danger at every turn. Morocco's historic courtyards and Moorish architecture, with their warm tones and intricate designs, bring depth to quieter moments, while its sunlit plazas and narrow streets create an exotic, cinematic atmosphere. The story itself follows Cha Dal-geon, played by Lee Seung-gi, a stuntman who loses his nephew in a mysterious plane crash. When he spots a suspicious man alive in Tangier, he teams up with Susie's character, NIS agent Go Hai-ri. Together, they unravel a conspiracy that stretches from terrorists to corrupt politicians. What makes Vagabond unforgettable is how Morocco itself becomes part of the story. They heighten the tension, mirror the scale of the conspiracy, and give the drama a true movie-like quality. It's one of the most visually stunning thrillers K-drama has ever pulled off. 8. King the Land. King the Land may be known as a lighthearted rom-com, but episode 10 gave us something unforgettable. The story follows Gu Wan, the heir to a luxury hotel group, and Sa Reng, a hotelier whose warmth and charm make her beloved by guests. At first, their worlds clash, his cold, privileged demeanor against her sunny optimism. But slowly, their banter turns into something deeper. And it's in Thailand where that romance finally blossoms. From Bangkok's glowing skyline to serene golden temples, every backdrop amplifies their growing connection. We see them laughing through vibrant markets, strolling by the Ong Ong Canal, and soaking in the beauty of temples like Wat Arun. Then comes the swoon-worthy rooftop kiss with the city glittering beneath them. Pure K-drama magic. Thailand's contrasts mirror their journey perfectly. The bustling street food stalls reflect Sarang's warmth, the historic temples capture the timeless pull of their love, and the sleek, luxury settings echo Gu Wan's world of privilege. In the story, Gu Wan brings Sarang and her friends here as a grand gesture, but the trip becomes so much more. It's where walls come down and their romance takes root. And just when you think the episode couldn't get more romantic, it closes with that secret pool date under the warm Thai night sky. Intimate, tender, and unforgettable. 7. The Package.
여기에요. 우리가 처음 만난데.
If you've ever dreamed of a K-drama set against the backdrop of Europe, The Package delivers in the most charming way possible. The series was filmed almost entirely in France, turning every episode into a travel diary From the cobblestone streets of Paris to the quiet countryside of Normandy, every scene feels like a postcard. We see iconic spots like Mont Saint-Michel rising out of the sea like a fairy tale fortress, and the Pont Alexandre III Bridge, one of Paris's most romantic views. Even small cafes tucked away on side streets glow with that dreamy Parisian atmosphere, adding warmth and intimacy to the story. The drama itself follows a group of travelers on a guided tour, led by Lee Yeon-hee's character, Yoon So-so. What starts as a simple trip becomes an emotional journey, with each traveler carrying secrets, regrets, and hopes they never expected to share. Jung Young-hwa plays San Maru, whose unexpected connection with So-so turns the trip into something much deeper. 6. Memories of Alhambra.
대부분의 사람들은 아람브라 궁전을 보러 그라나다에 온다. 그러나 나는 다른 걸 보러 여기에 왔다. 아람브라보다 더 신비로운 것.
This drama is a mix of science fiction, mystery, and romance that keeps you on edge from the start. Hyun Bin plays Yoo Jin-woo, a tech CEO who flies to Granada after hearing about a groundbreaking AR game inspired by medieval Spain. There, he stays at a small family-run hostel owned by Young Hee-ju, played by Park Shin-ye. What begins as a business trip quickly spirals into something darker. The game's virtual battles start bleeding into real life, dragging Jin-woo into a dangerous mystery while his connection with Hee-ju quietly deepens. Now, here's where it gets even better. Spain is practically the third lead of this drama. Granada's cobblestone streets, glowing courtyards, and sunlit gardens make everything look magical, while Barcelona brings that big city flair. And then there's Girona, with its medieval charm that feels like stepping into another world. What makes it so good is how the setting blends with the story. The Alhambra Palace at sunset doesn't just look pretty, it makes the game feel legendary, almost like history and fantasy are colliding right in front of you. 5th, Descendants of the Sun. This drama needs no introduction. It's the iconic love story between Captain Yoo Si-jin, a special forces officer, and Dr. Kang Mo-yeon, a surgeon thrown together with him in a war-torn land. While most of the story unfolds in the fictional country of Urk, some of the most unforgettable scenes were actually filmed in Greece. The drama takes us from tense military camps to swoony beach dates, and every backdrop feels like it was pulled straight from a postcard. Some of the military scenes were shot at the monastery of Panagia Skopiotissa on Mount Skopos, perched high above Zakynthos. With its ruined stone walls, golden sunlight, and sweeping sea views, it gave the perfect mix of beauty and devastation for Uruk's war zone. The drama didn't stop there. It also went to Lemnos, with its wild sand dunes nicknamed the Sahara of Greece. Those golden, sun-scorched landscapes amped up the desert war vibe, while the charming harbor town of Marina gave us softer, coastal shots with colorful streets and castle views. It was the perfect backdrop for romance in between all the chaos. Put it all together, and you've got one of the best blends of action, romance, and breathtaking scenery in K-drama history. 4th, Legend of the Blue Sea.
빨간불이잖아. 멈춰야지.
Legend of the Blue Sea gave us one of the most magical K-drama openings ever, and it all started far from Korea. Before we even dive into the love story between Heo Jun-jae, a genius conman, and Shim Chae-young, a mermaid who crosses into the human world, the show sweeps us across Spain and the island nation of Palau. And honestly, the scenery feels like another character in the story. Because this drama isn't just about boy meets girl, it's about fate, past lives, and a love that refuses to be lost across time. And the places they filmed bring that theme to life. In Spain, we're transported through sunlit plazas, medieval castles, and coastal towns that feel like real-life storybooks. Jun-jae's castle-like hideout near Girona feels straight out of a fairy tale, while the seaside charm of whitewashed towns like Sitges and Tossa de Mar adds to the romance blooming between him and Cheong. Then there's Palau. The underwater world filmed here is pure fantasy brought to life. Crystal clear turquoise waters, glowing coral reefs, and rays of sunlight piercing the depths as Cheong swims in her true form. It's breathtaking, surreal, and makes the mermaid mythology feel tangible, like you've slipped into her world. Third Queen of Tears.
홍혜인!
At its heart, Queen of Tears is the story of Baek Hyun-woo, a humble lawyer, and Hong Hae-in, a powerful Chaebol heiress whose marriage begins to fall apart under the weight of secrets, misunderstandings, and illness. Yet, even as their relationship cracks, love keeps finding a way back. And that's where Germany plays such a powerful role. Early on, we see Berlin through their honeymoon, wide boulevards, riverside strolls, and grand old buildings that mirror the hopeful, picture-perfect start of their love. Years later, when everything is crumbling, Hyun-woo returns to those very streets, and suddenly the scenery carries a bittersweet weight. In Potsdam, the fairy tale palaces and manicured gardens highlight how their love was always meant to be timeless, even if reality keeps testing it. And on Frankfurt's Eiserner Steg Bridge, surrounded by glittering love locks, Hoyen searches for their own lock, a physical reminder that what they shared wasn't just a fleeting moment, but something worth fighting for. Germany might not have the sun-drenched vibes of Spain or Greece, but that's what makes it perfect for Queen of Tears. 2. Crash Landing on You. At its core, Crash Landing on You is a story about impossible love, a South Korean heiress, Yoon Se-ri, and a North Korean soldier, Ri Jong-hyuk, who were never supposed to meet. But what makes this drama unforgettable is how the places themselves carry their love story. From Lake Breenz's Iseltwald Dock, where Jong-hyuk plays that unforgettable piano piece, to the Sigriswil Panorama Bridge, where fate kept pulling him and Siri together. Add in Zurich's Old Town, picture perfect and full of quiet moments, and of course, the famous piano by the lake that became a symbol of their love. The sweeping plains, wide horizons, and endless skies made their impossible romance feel both vast and fragile, like they were two tiny figures against the backdrop of destiny. These breathtaking locations didn't just frame the love story, they were the love story. It's no wonder fans still travel across continents just to stand where Siri and Jong-hyuk once stood. Last on our list, and you knew this was coming, Goblin, the lonely and great god. The story follows Kim Shin, an immortal cursed to wander the earth for centuries, and Ji Eun-tak, the bright, fated bride who's the only one who can end his suffering. Their romance is both tragic and tender, balancing life, death, and the meaning of destiny. When the drama takes us to Quebec City, it feels like stepping straight into Kim Shin's soul. After Goblin aired, tourism exploded. The Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac saw a 500% increase in Korean guest bookings, and even launched a Goblin package. Gong Yoo's character literally buys the hotel in the drama, but for fans, just standing in its shadow feels like stepping into his story. Quebec's old-world charm, cobblestone streets, golden autumn light, and its timeless river views mirrors Kim Shin's centuries of waiting, his solitude tucked away in a city that feels eternal. And when Eun-tak appears beside him, that same scenery transforms. The quiet streets suddenly feel alive. The city becomes not a place of exile, but of possibility. No wonder fans flock here on pilgrimages, tracing Eun-tak's footsteps through old Quebec, leaving letters by the mailbox, standing before the red door, hoping to feel just a little of that goblin magic. So tell me, which K-drama scenery captured your heart the most? And if you could, which one would you teleport to right now? Drop it in the comments because I want to know where you'd go first. And while you're here, don't click away just yet. Check out our next video on Korean actors who've lived surprising lives outside of Korea. Trust me, some of the names on that list will shock you.